While Miami Heat fans held out hope till the bitter end, the Los Angeles Lakers essentially crushed their dreams for the series with a defensive adjustment that worked almost to perfection. And while LeBron turned in a real clunker of a first half, once he got past the halftime break, he found himself, leading his team to the brink of another title and further cementing his all-time legacy. Frank Vogel must have been frustrated looking through the Game 3 footage of Jimmy Butler lighting them up for 40 points and 13 assists en route to the Heat victory. So he made a key adjustment right out of the gate by putting Anthony Davis on Butler. This eliminated any potential isolations where Jimmy would try and get into the lane and finish, since AD is just as quick as Butler is and infinitely longer. However, it wasn't hard for Butler to force a switch in the first quarter, using a ball screen with Dwight's man ultimately leads to a beautiful move plus the and one. They didn't need to set a ball screen for Jimmy to get AD off of him, as this pinch post action with Tyler Hero forces the switch. Unlike Game 3, the Lakers quickly send a double team, and keep your eye on LeBron James. Hero makes a mistake cutting up to receive the pass. He should have stayed along the baseline and let Crowder cut to the top. Instead, LeBron accelerates into a steal before racing down court to commit an offensive foul before dunking this hard with both hands. Another good adjustment the Heat did was to get Butler cutting over the top with a back screen from Olynyk. This gets Butler right into the lane, but he's among the trees, as is Olynyk, who tries the weak finish and gets adopted by Mr. Davis. Of course, attacking Kuzma was a favorite pastime for Butler in Game 3, and they do the same thing here on the right wing on the turnaround jump hook, as Kuzma offers little resistance. The best way they combated this matchup was to set the step-up screen on the right side so Jimmy can attack with his strong hand. AD can't get around in time as Butler gets the little floater to land. They tried on the left side, and Kuzma clearly wants to hedge and send him back to Davis. This doesn't happen, and Jimmy abuses him once again. They use Butler again as the ball screener to force the switch, and again the Lakers waste no time doubling in to support KCP down low. Danny Green drifts out of position towards Hero too much, giving Kendrick Nunn 5 feet of space as he begins the arm swing up into the shot. Remember that step-up screen that worked so well for that little floater? Well, Robinson doesn't set it, primarily because his man hedges hard to stop Butler from going to the rim. Butler had a chance to hit Robinson out top for a possible shot, but AD is now sinking and daring Butler to shoot the ball, which Jimmy clearly doesn't want to do. As a result, the shot clock goes into the red, and Butler tries a jab step three-pointer that isn't very close. Again, they set that step-up screen, but it's to Jimmy's weaker left hand, so he rejects the screen and gets right to the rim, but that doesn't mean much when it's AD guarding him. He can easily reject this shot and ignite the fast break. The Lakers adjusted in the third quarter. Watch how low AD is willing to go underneath that screen to dare Jimmy to shoot. This backfires as the Heat execute a handoff and AD isn't in position to contest this shot as a help defender. On this possession, you can see Davis much more concerned with Robinson in the handoff, and this is another good adjustment to get Butler going. Short roll to the middle, then kick it out for the open three, which Nunn can't hit. Without AD in there, you can see why the Lakers are so concerned with him. He easily gets the switch of Morris, then muscles his way to the restricted area, planting the left foot as the pivot, allowing his right foot to tap, then step forward to keep Morris away from the ball for the nice lefty finish. But all the good stuff we saw the Heat run earlier in the game slowly faded away as we got to the fourth quarter. They try to get the switch with the handoff to Nunn, but Kuzma dives in there and stays on his man. At this point, the shot clock becomes another defender, and even though they do get the switch on this handoff, it's too late, as Nunn has to make something happen and almost gets it, but Anthony Davis does what Anthony Davis does, to track down this drive and reject the shot. Nunn should have shot this right-handed to use his body as a shield, but he's so lefty dominant that it's not a surprise. That step-up screen that's worked for them a couple of times gets set by Robinson. He lays some good wood on AD, and it allows Jimmy a free lane to the hoop for the layup. Again, look how low Davis is willing to go underneath the ball screen for Butler. There's no way to penetrate the defense if AD is willing to sink this low to contain. But they get Jimmy on another short roll, Davis well above the free throw line, so LeBron must rotate over, and it leaves the defense naked on the backside as Bam pump fakes into a layup to cut the lead to 3. The key possession was this one. Butler gets the rebound and pushes it, finally being free of the AD experience, only to get that step-up screen from LeBron's man of all people. Butler wants no part of that and jacks up an early shot clock three that doesn't go in. Again, KCP hedges high to stop Butler from turning the corner on that step-up screen, and I love this snapback action for Robinson, but what they missed was Bam not cutting to the hoop quickly enough, and LeBron closing ground rapidly to contest this Robinson shot. But on the long rebound, we finally get another ball screen from Jimmy himself. This is a great way to separate from the long arms of AD. Morris has to bump down, great in-air pass to get it out to Crowder, and this time he hits it to cut the lead to 4. With the last chance they have to make this a game, Robinson doesn't make contact on that step-up screen in order to get away from the KCP hedge quicker. The snapback almost works, but Butler doesn't roll hard after the handoff, and AD can deflect the pass. With LeBron on him, he can't just muscle his way to the basket, and the Heat are left with a hero double pump floater under extreme pressure, and that was it. On offense, Anthony Davis again had long stretches where he wasn't a threat at all, so it was up to LeBron to take care of business on that end, and it didn't start out so well for him. The Heat did a good job denying the pass to AD, covering the duck in by Dwight, but then LeBron just throws his pass away to Adebayo. This pocket pass appears to be a bit low for Anthony Davis to cleanly gather, and then LeBron makes a good read to see that an alley-oop to Dwight is open, but uncharacteristically throws it too high for another turnover. Coming off this inside ball screen in the middle, LeBron is stopped by the switch at the free throw line, then throws a dying quail that gets stolen by Iguodala. There were some highlights for LeBron in the first half, as he attacks Bam, who's in foul trouble, taking advantage of Nunn setting a screen on his own teammate, while LeBron gallops all the way to the rim for the smash. And I imagine James' eyes bulged out of his head with the sight of Duncan Robinson guarding him out top, but it's hard to fathom he'd simply lose his dribble on the crossover. And I'd never seen the Lakers struggle with entering the ball to the post as much as last night. Not even LeBron James was immune. And when he missed this point-blank shot going to his left, I threw up my hands thinking, what in the world is going on? Even with some contact to the back of his neck, I still can't believe it threw him off that much. But what a difference a halftime makes, as LeBron came roaring back to life in ways only he can to demoralize the Heat possession after possession. It started with Jimmy doing his impersonation of AD guarding him, going way underneath the screen to dare LeBron to shoot it, and shoot it he does. This one didn't make much sense to me. After LeBron gives up the ball, I don't know why Bam wants to hug him 5 feet above the three-point line. An easy backdoor cut gets him the quick layup over the front of the rim. It's clear the Heat want LeBron to shoot it from behind the arc, but he's been decent from back there all playoff long, and the step back from 30 drops in to increase the lead to 5. Notice how the Heat simply abandon their zone defense completely, and with this flat screen, LeBron can pick which direction he wants to go. Watch this problematic defense carefully. Olynyk is standing on the lane line before LeBron begins his drive, even though his man is one pass away in the corner and Nunn is below him and could offer help. LeBron sees this and knows he can drive right at Olynyk to freeze him, then make the simple pass to the corner for an open 3. Still in a tight game, LeBron wants to attack Jimmy down low because he's got a size advantage. One thing to point out about LeBron is that he routinely gets away with lifting his pivot foot before he releases the ball to attack on the dribble. On this play, he establishes the left foot as the pivot, then picks it up and puts it back down in order to be more explosive. On the repost, he again establishes the left foot as a pivot because he moves the right foot after the catch, and again picks it up before the ball is released. This type of travel is done by everybody, never gets called, and despite containing him for almost the entire shot clock, LeBron hits the extremely tough turnaround over the right shoulder to increase the lead to 6. The Heat had found a little success with the high hedge while having Jimmy go underneath the screen, but LeBron combats this by splitting the defenders and throwing the ball way out in front. After he regathers it, Crowder takes a hard foul, but not hard enough, as LeBron amazingly rolls this ball up and over and into the rim for the and one. Clinging to a 2-point lead, LeBron dashes down court, and I understand wanting to wall him off, but heroes should recognize that Robinson is back there for support, so he can be a step and a half closer to his man KCP in the corner. Again, LeBron drives right at Hero's early help position, freezing him, and then making the easiest pass there is, one pass away to the corner for the first nail in the coffin. LeBron gets his last assist of the night after their attempts to force a switch and get Jimmy off of him fails. But that leaves KCP out top to attack Robinson with the shot clock winding down. The layup effectively ends this game as the Heat never seriously threaten again. There is no way a LeBron-led team is going to lose a 3-1 lead, and despite these two teams being a pretty close matchup, I expect this to end tomorrow night, or after Game 6 at the latest. You can't keep LeBron down for more than a half at best, and it seems like the Heat blew their best chance to take advantage in Game 4. So, be ready to watch the champagne fly and the trophies shine as LeBron puts another notch in his legacy belt.